The night the queen heard the river fall silent, the kingdom felt its first tremor of doom. For as long as anyone could remember, the silent river had whispered. It whispered secrets of the mountains. It whispered songs of the past. It whispered warnings of the future. But tonight, it was simply silent. Not calm, not gentle. Silent, like something had stolen its voice. And deep inside the ancient fortress of Elder Spire, Queen Elira jolted awake. She didn't know why her eyes snapped open or why her heart pounded as if chased by invisible hands. But she felt it, the shift, the absence, the wrongness. Something vital had been taken. In the darkness of her chamber, she rose from her bed and pulled her cloak tight around her shoulders. The torches in the hall flickered nervously as she walked, as if even fire felt fear tonight. When she reached the eastern balcony, the moon glowed silver over the valley. And there it was, the river, a black ribbon snaking through her kingdom. No ripples, no murmurs, no voice. Elira whispered, "Why have you gone silent?" But the river did not answer. Elders spoke of an ancient pact, older than the throne itself. A contract between the crown and the river. If one weakened, the other would fall. The river's voice was not water. It was life, magic, and the tether holding the kingdom together. Now, something had broken that tether. Elira rushed to the Hall of Scribes, where scrolls older than time lined the walls. She searched feverishly, prophecies, agreements, forbidden histories, until she found the one she feared most, the Chronicle of Stillness. A legend that spoke of a queen who would face a silence that could swallow the world. The chronicle warned, when the river grows quiet, shadows will rise from the waters. And the queen who hears the silence must follow the path no ruler dares walk, into the river's memory. The river's memory. Elira's blood chilled. She closed the scroll, stepped back, and felt the floor tremble beneath her feet. A vibration, faint, like a heartbeat fading. The river was dying. Before dawn, she summoned her royal guard, the Knights of the Vale. Only 7 of them remained, old, scarred, unshakably loyal. General Kaler, her most trusted warrior, bowed his head. "My queen, what calls us at this hour?" Elira pointed toward the valley. "The river has gone silent. Our pact is breaking, and with it, our kingdom." Kaler's jaw tightened. "Then we ride." They marched down the long stone path from Elder Spire toward the valley. The closer they came to the river, the colder the air grew, unnatural, sharp, biting. The riverbanks were lined with frost, though the season was warm. Ice spiraled like veins across stones. Birds lay still. Trees leaned inward as if listening. And then they saw it. A figure stood in the middle of the river, half submerged, motionless and dark as shadow. A shape that didn't belong to any human form. Kaler whispered, "What is that?" Elira stepped forward, heart pounding. "Something the Chronicle warned us of." The figure turned its head slowly, too slowly, and its face was not a face at all, but a smooth mask of water. Reflective, empty, hollow. Then it sank beneath the surface without a ripple. The river remained silent. Kaler gripped his sword. "We shouldn't be here." "We must be," Elira answered, "for the kingdom stands on the edge of prophecy." She waded into the river. The knights shouted, but she raised a hand. "This is my path. Alone." The water around her shimmered. Lights flickered beneath the surface like trapped stars. Then, the river swallowed her whole. Her breath stopped. Her vision blurred. She felt herself sinking through layers of something thicker than water. Memories, she realized. The river's memories. Images flashed. Ancient queens, broken crowns, battles drowned in magic. A dark force, sealed away beneath the surface centuries ago. A force now waking. And then she saw it. An imprisoned spirit, bound in chains of light, screaming silently into the void. A voice stolen, a kingdom threatened. The river roared inside her mind without sound. It showed her the truth. The silence was not natural. The silence was stolen. And someone, or something, was coming to claim the throne. As Alira reached toward the imprisoned spirit, a shadow wrapped around her wrist like ice. A voice, not a sound, but a feeling. Alira's eyes snapped open as she gasped for breath, collapsing onto the riverbank. The knights rushed toward her, their voices frantic, but their sounds were distant, hollow, like echoes trapped in another world. She pushed herself upright, trembling. She remembered everything, every chain, every drowning vision, every whisper of the imprisoned spirit. And the shadow. The cold, suffocating shadow. Kaler knelt beside her. "My queen, what did you see?" Alira stared at the river, now trembling with faint ripples. The river is not dying on its own. It's being strangled. The knights exchanged uneasy glances. Alira rose, her wet dress clinging to her skin, her royal composure shattered but her resolve burning. Someone stole the river's voice, and with it, part of our kingdom's magic. If we do not retrieve it, Elder Spire will fall. Kaler straightened. "Who would dare?" "Not a who," Alira whispered. "A what?" As dawn broke, they traveled upstream, following the river to its source. Birds circled overhead but remained silent. The forest grew twisted, branches bending unnaturally toward the river as if pulled by an unseen force. The deeper they went, the more time seemed distorted. The world felt stretched, slowed, heavy. By midday, they reached a waterfall, once roaring, now reduced to a slow, unnatural drip. A cave lay behind it, masked by shadows. Alira stepped forward. This is where the silence begins. Inside the cave, the air felt dense, like breathing smoke. Faint whispers brushed against their ears, not words, but echoes, fragments of memories stolen from the river itself. And then they saw him. A man, or something shaped like one, sat upon a throne of black stone. His skin was pale as moonlight, his eyes hollow like empty wells. Chains of dark water spiraled around his arms. The Shadow Binder. A myth. A nightmare. A spirit said to have once tried to enslave the river's power centuries ago. The figure raised his head slowly. "Queen Alira, the river remembers you." Alira stood tall. "Release its voice." The Shadowbinder smiled, a dead, cold smile. "The river's voice is power. Power your ancestors stole from me. Power I have reclaimed. And soon the kingdom will kneel, just as the river has." Kaler stepped between them, sword drawn. "You threaten the queen, you answer to me." The cave trembled. The Shadowbinder lifted a finger, and a tendril of liquid darkness lashed outward, slamming Kaler into the rock wall. Alira screamed his name. The Shadowbinder rose from his throne, the chains of water twisting like serpents around him. "Your river is bound. Your kingdom weakens. And you, Alira, are the last obstacle." Alira clenched her fists. "The river chose my bloodline. It chose the crown, and I will fight to reclaim what is ours." She stepped forward. The river inside her pulsed. The Shadowbinder lunged, and the cave erupted. Water exploded from the ground, swirling into a vortex. Memories, centuries of them, rushed through Alira. Queens before her. Their battles. Their triumphs. Their sacrifices. She felt their strength. Their courage. Their fire. The Shadowbinder's tendrils wrapped around her body, cold as death, but she didn't retreat. She reached inward, into the memory of the river. The imprisoned spirit's voice pulsed within her. "Break the chains." Alira thrust her hands outward. Light burst from her palms, silver, brilliant, blinding. It struck the Shadowbinder, and for the first time, he staggered. The chains shattered. The river roared, its true voice returning like a storm reclaiming the sky. The walls shook. The ground heaved. A surge of water burst from the cave, sweeping outward like a tidal wave of rebirth. The Shadowbinder screamed, his form dissolving into mist, swallowed by the river's awakening. When the waters calmed, Alira stood alone in the center of the cave, glowing faintly with the river's restored power. Kaler struggled to his feet. "My queen, is it done?" Alira stepped into the returning light. The waterfall thundered again behind her. The river outside whispered, sang, breathed. "It is done," she said softly. "But this is not victory. This is a reminder." Kaler frowned. "Of what?" "That the river does not serve the throne. The throne serves the river." She looked toward Elderspire, where dawn broke in shades of gold. The river's voice flowed once more, carrying life back into the kingdom. And every whisper spoke her name, Queen Alira, Keeper of the River, Savior of the Silence.